Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 90 of the 72 review. And it's a big episode. When we get to kind of 10 more, we do a phone-in show. So this is the one where you guys can get involved and talk about your club this season. So if you do want to jump on and have a chat with myself and Ian, the link to the StreamYard is the pinned comment. So just click on that, get yourself involved, and we'll bring you in for a 5-minute chat, ask how your club's season is going. But yeah, we'll get the introductions done and we'll make a start on League Two. So I think Jake is coming at some point. He said that it was with family today, so he's probably on his way home. But yeah, he's not dropped in yet. So you've just got the deadly duo today, myself and the ever-present Ian. So anybody who doesn't know you, mate, introduce yourself, let people know what you do and why you do it.
Hello, I'm Ian. I'm 63 now. Well, 62 and a half. And I'm a Rotherham season ticket holder. And when the Millers are away, I'm all over the EFL blogging for my YouTube channel, Old Man Ground Hopping. And I did one yesterday at Meadow Lane, Nottingham, and saw a decent game, to be quite honest with you.
Good stuff. And we are starting in League Two, so we'll be on that one shortly. Link to Ian's channel is down in the description below. We've got John. Evening, gents. Good evening, John. And David has come in with Bye Bye Everett. Stephen Schumacher incoming, yeah.
You sure you don't want Steve Evans?
Nobody wants Steve Evans, mate. ATID currently stuck in Newcastle because of wind. Absolute joke. But a decent result up at Sunderland for you guys.
Absolutely. Brilliant result.
A accumulator destroyer yesterday. But not so much midweek, but we will get onto the Championship later on in the show. So let's get League Two ticking across the bottom, and we will introduce our first guest. We've got Reese. Welcome to the show, Reese. You've been on before, mate.
Yeah, I have.
You have indeed. You're a Doncaster fan.
Yeah.
So we'll have a couple of minutes with you, mate. How do you think our season's going? We're third in the table at the minute. 1-0 win yesterday. Happy, or do you think we could be doing a little bit better?
Could do a bit better.
And why do you think that?
I mean, Harrogate are one of those dodgy teams where they always win against us. But I mean, we got a win. It was good, that win. I like that.
Yeah, it was. I was worried yesterday. Like you say, they're a bit of a bogey team for us. We've not beat them competitively. They dug in. They had their opportunities. They could have beat us, but unfortunately, the Harry Clifton shot from the edge of the box, the keeper just didn't deal with it, did he? Squirmed under him. Probably got more than what we deserved on the day, but certainly take those 3 points, especially with the results that were going in around us. And we're up to third, so I don't want to grumble too much. I think we've got to be grateful of the position that we're in. I think it's a difficult division this season. Some people have said that the quality's decreased. I disagree with that. I'm leaning towards that the quality is actually there in this division, and anybody can beat anybody. But yeah, you're a Donny fan. Who's your favourite player? Let's go with that one.
I like Luke Molyneux and Billy Sharp.
Good choice.
Yeah, very good choices. I think I'd have to agree with you. I think Sharpie is a legend, isn't he? He's getting goals as well. So yeah, very happy with that. But I think probably a good mention of BJ McGrath. I think his passion is clear for everybody to see at the minute. I think he'll be a really good defender in years to come.
Yeah, I think he might earn the club some money in years to come.
Hopefully. So last question before we let you get off, Reese. Do you think we're going to stay in the top three? Do you think we'll be a League One club next season, or do you think we'll just miss out?
I think we'll be a League One club next season.
Love it, mate. Hopefully you're right. In fact, I have got one more question before you go. Are you going to the Palace game on Monday? That's obviously the big game coming up for us as a club with the lowest ranked team in the FA Cup. Crystal Palace at home should be a good night. Hopefully, bloody a Premiership team's nose. Are you looking forward to that one?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Hopefully, it is a memorable night, and we get through to the 5th round and get another big club in round. Lovely stuff. Thank you for coming on, mate. And it's as easy as that, guys. If you want to come on and talk, just click the link, get your sends in. We'll have a quick chat about your club. Reese, a very happy Donny fan at the minute. I do agree with him a little bit. I think we could be doing slightly better. I mean, we've had a chat, Ian, a few times on this show. I think we've dropped points against teams that we if you're title contenders, I think you've got to be winning the games or at least getting a draw from them. Bromley, we were talking just before we went live. The beat us 1-0 at the Eco Power. I mean, Ian, you'll come into that game next. They're a good team. They're no mugs at this level. But
they're not mugs. They've adapted quite well to league football, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, but if you're pushing for that title, newly promoted teams, you should be beating or at least getting a point in your own back garden. And there's stuff that we could have done better, but can't grumble being third. But yeah, this one, I think it's one that we move on from quickly because 12 shots, only 2 on target, and one of those he should have really saved, and he didn't. Harrogate posed a threat from set pieces, put us under pressure every now and then, and it just felt like one of those games that was going to get shithoused on the 89th minute.
It seemed an evenish game. Looking at the stats, it looked like it was quite even.
The first half, I thought we were really positive. There were spells where we looked really good. We just didn't test the keeper enough, and I think if we sort that out, there's no reason we can't go on a decent run. But yeah, we just need to be a bit braver in front of goal, I think. Tough game on Wednesday coming up, a long old trip up to Barrow, so we'll see how that one goes. But 3 points, results around us went our way, and you was at one of those games when I find it. Notts County versus Bromley. Talk us through this one, mate. Decent result for us.
It's definitely a good result for Rovers. Notts started like a house on fire, attack for the majority of the first half. Jody Jones had an effort early on. They were a looped effort that hit the bar, and somehow their keeper got to the rebound. McGoldrick were on one-on-one. Again, a brilliant save by the keeper. And then Sam Austin put one in from about the penalty spot that the keeper parried. And Bromley were lucky to go in at 0-0, really. I mean, they had 1 or 2 efforts, but they were pretty tame ones from distance. Second half started. Bromley grew into the game a little bit more as an attacking force, but they went behind because of a penalty that were given on McGoldrick. And I've seen the interview. I've seen the incident on the TV replay, and I think McGoldrick bought it a little bit. I think he went down a bit theatrical. But
he did.
The referee gave the penalty. Jody Jones stuck it away well, and it was Jody Jones' first game back for a while because he'd been injured for quite a while, and so he tired badly. So they took him off round about 70 minutes, along with McGoldrick, probably with a Tuesday night game in mind.
Yeah.
But Bromley, when you're 1-0 up, you're vulnerable, and Bromley equalised with a fantastic goal from Cameron Congreve. He danced into the area, beat 2 or 3 players, and just stuck it in via the post. Really good equaliser, that. And for the rest of the game, for the other 14, because they added 4 minutes on added, I think Bromley were the more likely. They came forward. I think they thought, collectively, they thought, we can win this one. It wasn't to be, but it was a really, really good game for League Two. It was a credit to League Two. And on us even. I don't think the point suited Bromley more than it did Notts County. But they're still up there, they're still challenging, and they're a match for anybody on the day, Notts. But just yesterday weren't the day.
I'm hoping that we're done and dusted come the end of the season, and there's nothing too important riding on the game at County, because they're a good team, aren't they?
The thing is, I mean, if both teams are still in the hunt for either playoff or automatic, that last day of the season is going to be a war.
Yeah, it should be a very, very good game. Already looking forward to it. Just a quick look through the comments. David wouldn't touch Evans. He does appreciate him though. ATID's comment on a good result at Sunderland. It's 1 point from 3 home games isn't going to be covered up by a point at Sunderland. Yeah, you've got to sort out your home form for sure. And Sue, evening guys, still glowing from yesterday. We will be on League One.
I should imagine she is.
Yeah, very good result there.
I mean, that were a local derby, weren't it? Really posh.
Yeah. Absolutely trounced them. And ATID, long old trip. It's only up the road. Yeah, it's miles away, mate. Just because you live a million miles away from everywhere. And Dale said, evening guys, Notts were bang average against a well-organised Bromley team. Jones first starting over 3 months. Notts had a great chance towards the end, but missed it onto Carlisle Tuesday night. Not too dissimilar to what you said there, Ian, that it was just one of those games that... I mean,
that's one of the things that Andy Woodman's done at Bromley. He's organised them. Defensively, they all know the jobs, and they're very strong.
Sue said that not so much a derby, more a rivalry with Posh.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And one that they've got the bragging rights over. Ian, rather interesting top you're wearing. So Bradford.
That is a statement. That is a statement result. That
they're in
Walsall,
form.
Yeah,
but they're not in as good a form as Walsall, are they?
Walsall will be just tearing League Two a new one all season.
Yeah,
I thought they'd be in for a game at Bradford, but I didn't think it would end so sort of convincing. Yeah, comprehensive. I mean, Walsall missed a penalty towards the end, but that would have just been a consolation. But they're really on form, Bradford, with the crowd behind them. I mean, they get 17, 18 every week, 18,000 every week. They're going to take some stopping. Graham Alexander's doing a decent job up there, and they've got some bloody good players.
Yeah.
I mean, and to be quite honest with you, they don't seem to be missing Andy Cook that much.
No, I thought he'd have been a very big loss, and we'd have started to see kind of Bradford tail off a little bit. But yeah, like I say, it's like they're not missing Cookie at all.
I mean, Sarkovic were a brilliant buy from Stockport. I don't know if he moved on a free or they actually paid something for him, but he's a decent player, and he's way above League Two level.
Yeah, decent finish to get him started as well, wasn't it?
Oh, good, yeah.
But yeah, that's certainly put a cat amongst the pigeons at the top end of League Two. Walsall still runaway leaders at the moment, but it's nice to see that they are beatable and potentially catchable. Stranger things have happened in League Two.
Yeah.
Another surprise, or I say surprise result. I mean, I've just done the match preview for the midweek game. Barrow are currently 8th in the form table at home. So Olker Street is an absolute fortress. Well, I said fortress. It's 8th in the league. Compare that to the Travels and the 22nd in the away form table. So home comforts is definitely something. But I didn't expect a 3-0 win over Grimsby, who have been doing bits this season.
Okay, yeah, they've been doing okay. But the thing is with Grimsby, they don't draw. They are the win or the lose.
Yeah,
they haven't drawn many at all.
No, they don't.
It's a hard old trip up there. I mean, travelling itself. I mean, I don't know whether Grimsby stopped overnight or not, but if you're trailing all the way up there on a match day, it's going to take something out of you. But fair play to Barrow, they needed that because they've been dropping like a bit of a stone lately.
Yeah,
they've not been on form at all.
I'm just hoping that it's. I mean, that's their first win in 6. I'm just hoping that it's a flash in the pan and it doesn't happen again on Wednesday. And we go there and get a valuable 3 points. We have a soft spot.
Well, if you don't, that's a cracking result for Aki. That is really cracking, because it were looking a bit worrying for Accrington, because they had been losing regularly and losing heavily. I mean, Notts beat them 3-0 quite convincingly last week, and they needed that. Unfortunately, I do think the 2 relegation spots, even with Carlisle winning yesterday, I can't see either of the bottom 2 getting out of it.
No, they're looking in trouble, don't they? Neil's in the chat. He's loving your top, Ian. I thought he would.
Yeah. I won't be wearing it Neil, I won't be wearing it a week on Tuesday, though, because we've got that Mickey Mouse Cup quarter-final with Bradford at New York.
You have indeed. But yeah, Sean Wally's goal was a decent little dink, wasn't it?
It would have been bloody good finish,
yeah. But yeah, fantastic result for Accrington, which again kind of just mixed it up a little bit towards the top of the table. Good result for Carlisle this weekend as well, beating Fleetwood, who have started well.
Yeah, exceptional result. Yeah, excellent. But they need about 9 or 10 more of those.
Yeah. His name's gone. Who's just gone to Fleetwood? Gaffer. We're at Barrow. Wild.
Pete Wild, yeah.
Yeah. So it started well at Fleetwood, got him kind of organised and getting results. So yeah,
if they can put a run together, it's not impossible to get out of it. I'm not saying it is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, they've recruited a lot, haven't they?
Very difficult. Yeah, very difficult.
Yeah, they've recruited a lot in January. So they're looking to kind of get those results and pull themselves out. They're 5 points away from Tranmere. But yeah, it's a tough old ask, isn't it, to get out of the situation that they're finding in.
But to be honest, if he does pull Carlisle out of it, he should get manager of the season for League Two, because that'll be sort of like almost a miracle escape for him.
Yeah. Neil's not too confident the way you boys are playing at the minute. He expects you to beat Bradford in the Virtu Cup.
Yeah, well, let's not talk about yesterday then.
And Dale said the goal for Aki was nearly as good as Abbott's for Notts against Aki last weekend.
Yeah, that was a good strike as well, yeah.
Yeah, it was indeed. Looking at the rest of the table, that win for Aki has kind of just eased them worries, like you say. Carlisle.
I mean, 3 wins out at last 5 is pretty good form, man.
Yeah, especially at this end of the table. Moving up as we go, MK Dons in 12th. The win, well, great form for Bradford at the minute, unbeaten in their last 5. That pulls them into 7th, into the final playoff spot, with Notts County, AFC Wimbledon and Port Vale making up the playoffs. Donny in 3rd, Crewe in 2nd, both of us on 46 points, and then Walsall with a game in hand on 58. So
it looks it's looking a bit like, you know what, Salford's meteoric rise to 2nd place. It looks like they're going in the opposite direction now with 2 straight defeats.
We did say, didn't we, on the FA Cup special, that an 8-0 hammering, even if it is against Man City and you're expecting it, it's gonna impact confidence in some way, shape, or form, and maybe there's still a little bit of an hangover from that.
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. League 2 done and dusted in 20 minutes. Neil's just put, we've got Morecambe on Tuesday at the Valley Parade, and then Wimbledon away Saturday. That's a tough couple of games there.
Yeah, I don't think you'll have a problem with Morecambe, but Wimbledon away.
Wimbledon away, it's. Although Morecambe, they're fighting for points, aren't they? But
they are, yeah. They'll
not
give
winning
them a game.
Okay, moving on to League 1. And Neil's just said we never beat Morecambe, so it might just be one of those where it's fully expected that Morecambe's going to win, and bit of a bogey team. Susan, Ian, I'll save you the trouble of going over Burton Rotherham to begin with. Let's start with Lincoln in League 1. Are you ready for a rant on Rotherham or not, or is it quite a calm?
It's going to be a bit of a rant, yeah. But
Right, we'll let you build up to it. We'll start with Lincoln. So Sue said, "Where do I start?" Tom's free kick, unbelievable. Whole team played with confidence, and James Collins' debut with a lovely love art on there. So yeah, fantastic result for Lincoln. Got off to an absolute flyer with the first goal in 12 minutes from Jeffries. And it's 5 different scorers. I know one's an own goal, but they've got to be happy with that. They've been struggling to find the back of the net for a number of weeks. So spot 5 past Peterborough, it was struggling. But it's a good result, isn't it?
I mean, we've mirrored Peterborough this season because Peterborough were well fancied at the start of the season to possibly get in the playoffs or even higher, same as Rotherham were. And we've both struggled to meet them expectations. But Lincoln at Sincilbank, I mean, when they're on, they're really on.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, they do have off days, like when we played them. But when they're on and they're firing on all cylinders, I mean, some of the goals were brilliant. The free kick were good.
Yeah.
The move for Collins' goal at the end were decent as well. And yeah, you static, yeah.
And Neil said Darren McAntony must be pulling his hair out as the owner of Posh. Yeah, because it's.
And I'm laughing my head off because I can't stand the blow. Can't stand the blow. Yeah.
But yeah, Peterborough started pretty well. They're in the mix, and then all of a sudden they've just fell off a cliff, haven't they?
Capitulated, yeah.
Yeah. And
you see, you get games like that. You get games like that everything you try falls in the back of the net. You do.
Yeah. Did you see Ferguson's post-match press conference?
I didn't know. Were it good?
So I only caught bits, but he said that the group of players are the softest group of players that he's ever managed, and it's not going to help him, is it? Absolutely laying into him publicly.
It isn't. I hope Mr. McCann don't get a phone call from Mr. McAntony.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't as well. Okay, let's. We are on League One now, so any League One fans who fancy jumping on, the pinned comment is the StreamYard link. So click on that. It's episode 90, so it's your opportunity to come on and have a chat with us about your club season. So if you are a League One fan watching and you want to get involved,
don't be shy.
Yeah,
we don't bite. Yeah,
we might nibble, but we don't bite.
Yeah.
Therapy session is in full swing now. Burton 4, Rotherham 2. We talked before we came live. I think it's been 900 days or something ridiculous like that since Rotherham won away on a Saturday.
Away?
Yeah, away on a Saturday. It's been a long old time. You had a fantastic start 2 minutes in, but then it all went wrong, didn't it?
Well, the positives are Louis Sibley scored on his debut, which is a good pickup, by the way. He's quite a decent midfield player. He did very well with Derby. And Andre Green scored again. And that's where the positives go. Defensively, we were all over the place. I mean, we were inviting Burton to cross the ball at every opportunity. I think we got away with it at 4-2 because they could and probably should have scored more. I mean, that's a great pickup, Bodvarsson for Burton. That's a really good. I know it's only a loan deal. I think his parent club's Bolton Wanderers, but he's Icelandic. He actually played for Iceland when they beat England in the Euros.
Was he not at Wrexham?
He might have been at Wrexham. Yeah, I don't know. I know he's been at Bolton sometime in his career.
Yeah, I think his most recent club at Wrexham. I think they've let him go and Burton have picked him up.
Yeah. He played for Iceland when they beat England in the Euros. He started that game. And decent finishes, both of them. I mean, I think Dylan Phillips were a bit unlucky with the third one because he pulled a really good save off, but it came out to Bodvarsson and he scored the rebound.
Yeah.
But defensively, I mean, some of the goals we conceded, the Sweeney header on 39, I mean, he got a header in right? And there were 6 Rotherham defenders that didn't jump. And to be quite honest, we coming into this game had a really tight defensive record in the last 4 or 5 games. I think we only let 2 goals in.
Yeah.
But I think they all went to sleep. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it were complacency or just a bad. I'm putting it down to a bad day at the office, really.
Yeah, see how you respond. You've got midweek game, haven't
you? We've got Cambridge at home, who are bottom, which worries me.
So it's how you respond now, isn't it? Yeah.
It's how you. I mean, if we go and give Cambridge a bit of a thumping, I mean, we're back on track a little bit. But I think some of the pundits that are talking Rotherham up about having a late charge to the playoff, I think they're way off the mark.
Have they got a bit giddy?
Way off. Not in a million years. Too inconsistent. When they have a good day, they have a very good day. But when they have a bad day, they're absolutely atrocious. I mean, we've got Cambridge at home on Tuesday night, and then we've got quite a little tricky trip away to Birmingham.
Yeah, that's not the easiest trip, is it?
No. So I don't think there'll be anywhere. I think probably where we are now, 13th, 12th, 11th. I don't think we'll get any higher than that.
Yeah. Talking about Birmingham, John has just come in. Evening, chaps. How are we all doing? John, you're more than welcome on the show. It's episode 90. So we're chatting with fans, allowing you on, talk about your club, how your season's going, and your more recent games. And yeah, we'll have a good chat. And I think this will be a good one because I'm going to introduce somebody to the show. It's John. I think, is it good morning for you, John, or is it good afternoon?
It's 2 p.m. over here. Good evening, gents and ladies and gents.
Good afternoon. So you're a Wrexham fan, currently in Boston. So let's get the Wrexham game up. An entertaining one Thursday night. Ollie Rathbone, Ian knows a lot about him. Wonderful strike, but it was on as even at Wrexham. So talk to us about Wrexham, and I know you come on every week, and sometimes you're a bit frustrated with how we talk about Wrexham and the frustration. But tell us from your point of view, what is Wrexham and how do you feel about the club and how the season's going?
Well, obviously I'm a novice, compared to all you guys. So I just I've enjoyed getting to know the game and Wrexham because of the documentary, of course. But it's fun. I watch a lot of games now. I used to just watch the Premier League, the Champions League, and I don't pay attention to that much anymore. Well, the Champions League.
Either way.
Yeah, and Ian, thank you for Ollie Rathbone. He did score a great goal against Birmingham, but it was probably a fair result. They had a penalty that should have been called like in the 4th minute, and in the second half, I don't know if anyone watched the game, but I'm sure John did. Wrexham probably could have got a goal or two. I don't know. I haven't watched many of Birmingham's games, but it's probably one of the first times their keeper was the man of the match because Wrexham probably should have gotten at least a second goal. So I think a draw was a fair result. It was an entertaining game to watch anyway.
Yeah. I don't think either side would be too unhappy with the point, really, in the grand scheme of things.
It was a good opportunity to kind of reduce the gap at the top. But I think you knew into League One. You did really well in League Two last season after coming up from non-league. I think, would it be a case of the club are pushing for championship and promotion, or is it a case of consolidating in a league and building a squad that is capable of winning it outright next season?
Well, I think, again, I know very little, but for me, every Wrexham fan that I've listened to and all the regular Wrexham fans would have been happy with a 10th place. Even you guys, thought they'd finish outside the playoffs. And so where they are now, why not crack on? I don't think anyone's catching Birmingham. I think Huddersfield's probably going to get second myself. And if they get in the playoffs, I think it'll be, a bonus. But from my understanding of Wrexham and the research I've done and everything, they've been a League One team most of their existence. They've only been in the championship, I think, once for a couple of years. So, having said that, I mean, they're in third. They're only 2 points off of automatic, so why not go for it? Although Parky, he's driving every Wrexham fan crazy because he hasn't signed anyone. Well, he just signed a kid from Hull the other day, but me being an American, I'm just along for the ride. It's been fun to watch. I do think if the position they're in, no one's ever done it 3 in a row, so that would be something. But the problem I see is if they're not ready for the championship, they don't have a training ground, they don't have the players that can compete. They'll probably come right back down. What do we know again? But I think they're a League One team based on their history and based on what I've seen this year. But you never know.
I can base myself on recent experience with my club, Rotherham United, that the jump from the League One to the Championship is massive, absolutely massive, and it's almost insurmountable for most teams because we're in the Championship. You get relegated Premier League clubs that get zillions of quid parachute payments. And they've got really high-profile players that they can sell if they get relegated, and to compete with them financially is very, very difficult, even for a club of Wrexham standing and Wrexham's backing.
I think they'd be able to go toe-to-toe with many a Championship team, though. With
but not all.
The backing that they've got.
Yeah, I mean, it would be fun. It would be fun to see. I don't know from any of your standpoints, but. From an outside, I don't consider myself, like you guys. I'm an American who's fallen in love with the team from the documentary and stuff. But it would be a great story. I know everyone's tired of hearing. But they'd be the first team to go 3 straight
promotions
in the league anyway. But I don't know. Again, they still don't have a training ground. They're still trying to build the cop out. They have that temporary stand. I know, Gillingham's had one for 20 years or whatever it is. But I'd love to see them do it, but I don't know if they're ready to do it. I think League One is probably their home, but who knows? They have the money now. They got a new financial backing, so anything's possible. But it's been fun to watch for a neutral as well.
Yeah.
If it doesn't end up being automatic promotion and it ends up being the playoffs, what are viewing figures they'll get for the playoff final if they get there at Wembley? That would be
playoffs is even better than going up automatic sometimes.
Well, it's the best way to go up, yeah.
I guess the history in the playoffs and at Wembley isn't too good though, so who knows how that will work.
Yeah, not too confident on that.
Yeah.
Sue has said, welcome John. League One is where the raw passion from fans and players that need to pay bills, so win bonuses mean a lot. So yeah, you don't want to be in Championship or Premiership. It's rubbish up there. I will introduce another John to the show. So we've got Wrexham and Birmingham on the stream now. So welcome, John. I think you've been on the show previously. I do remember having a chat with you before. Tell us your thoughts on Thursday's game and kind of a brief overview of Birmingham City and how your season's going, mate.
Yeah, pretty similar to how John explained it. I thought first half it was a fairly even game. We probably had more control of it first half, but second half definitely belonged to Wrexham. Last 10 minutes we were hanging on for dear life, to be honest. I do have a caveat though. We were missing 3 of our biggest players, the Pakin, Owata and Williamson in midfield, which did really affect us, I think. But taking nothing away from Wrexham, they did really well. The one disagreement I would have with John is I don't think it was a penalty for us in the first 4 minutes. Don't think it was. But their first goal was as wonderful as hit as it was by Rathbone. It was a foul on Taylor Gardner-Hickman. So, but yeah.
Can't take anything away from the strike, though. It was
fantastic hit.
Yeah.
What is a penalty?
Yeah, we knew our kid.
A penalty.
We knew.
It definitely hit his hand. His arm was outstretched. It wasn't in a natural position. So I guess I don't understand the rule. I don't know.
It's because
You're not the only one, John.
it took a deflection, I think, off his shoulder first, so it hit another part of his body, then onto the arm, which according to the rule wouldn't deem it a handball or a penalty.
Okay, that makes sense.
There you go. I've learned something there as well, because I'm in your boat, John. I'm unsure of the rules now, and I watch Rovers games, and sometimes the referee will give something one week and not the other, or he'll give something to the Rovers in one game, but then Harrogate, he won't give the same sort of challenge to them. There's just a lack of consistency with decisions, and yeah, if we get started on that, we will certainly go beyond an hour, because I've got a lot to say about inconsistencies and referees in English football.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have you both on, and in agreement that the big game of League One.
Sign out and let others come on. Thank you for having me. Good to see you guys.
It's been a pleasure seeing you, John. Thank you for coming on, mate.
Thank you.
Take care.
Mr. Morrell, can I ask you a question? How long is Will Alson going to be out for?
If you're wondering about next weekend, yes, he will be missing for the game against you, so don't worry.
Yeah, I know, but we've got plenty more to think about.
Yeah. Chris Davis is a little bit coy with regards to injuries. But Williamson was, I think he basically said it was going to be a minimum of a couple of weeks, and that was only, I think, last weekend. So yeah, I think
he's had an absolutely wonderful season. He's had a wonderful season, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think we've got Huddersfield away on Tuesday night, and I think Paik won't make it, but there's a chance Iwata might be back for it, which would be a welcome return, because we do look a different side with those two guys. So having one of them back would be huge.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'll be interested. Huddersfield Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah, Huddersfield away. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that'll be a full house, I would have thought.
I'm good friends with Huddersfield fan from work. I think I did Anthony. So he's at work, so can't stay on long. He shouldn't be on at all, Anthony, at work. But Huddersfield can't break teams down who sit back. We just can't break them down at all. We've paid thousands for two strikers who want through balls, and we just can't. We can't deliver them. I'm going to Huddersfield versus Birmingham on Tuesday night with Anthony, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Birmingham are all about, because obviously Ian, you watched them and said that they're one of the best League One teams you've ever seen. Exactly. So yeah, I've got high expectations to see.
The game at the New York earlier in the season, it were literally a 2-0 massacre. It was. I mean, we hardly got a kick. I've never seen a League One team that passed the ball about and so confident in possession. We just never laid a glove on them, and it were a brilliant performance. I mean, it could have been anything. It ended up 2-0. It could have been 5, 6, 7 easily. Yeah. But I think we were possibly one of our lowest ebbs of the season when we played Birmingham. I mean, we've improved a lot since. We've got some decent players in. I'm very pleased with Louis Sibley. They're picking him up in midfield, because I think that's where we were a little bit light. Yeah. I think we'll give Birmingham a game, but I don't think we'll trouble the scoreboard. It probably. I'm predicting 2-0 again. What do you think?
The thing with us though is very much like you said, Ian. We're not a side that you're. I mean, if you were an outsider and not watching us, you'd see our results. They're not convincing. You know, we win a lot of games 2-0, 1-0.
Yeah.
But very much like you said, Ian, it's a very much like a 1-0 or a 2-0 massacre in a lot of games where the opposition don't really get near our box, let alone.
I mean, the case in point were your recent home game with Exeter, when Exeter had 0 shots and none on top. You know, absolutely got nowhere near your penalty area.
That's what you want, though.
Yeah. Well, managers love 1-0s, don't they? Because it's the perfect result. So, but yeah, it would be nice to thump somebody and see some goals. But I'll be honest, we're just quite happy ticking along, winning games. So.
Yeah, I'd certainly take 46 1-0 rather than 1-5-0.
3 points.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But overall on your season, John, you must be happy with well, not happy coming down into League One, but happy with kind of how it's turned around and the progress that the club are making. Do you think you set well for the Championship next season? I can't see you not being in it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, the season so far, I mean, there is a narrative going around on social media, as there always is, that we should be doing better and we should be beating teams 3-4-0 and all this. But you look at our points per game, we're on track to beat Reading's 106 EFL record. So I'm not really sure what more you can do. I think you've got to give credit to the likes of Wycombe and Wrexham for keeping pace. You know, sometimes you just got to hold your hands up. Yeah, you just got to hold your hands up and just say they're doing really, really well. Obviously, like you said, without wanting to tempt fate, yes, we should be in the Championship next season. I think the squad, while it looks really good on paper and looks really good in League One, we will still add to it in the summer. We will still spend again, because I think there are areas where they're okay, or they're not okay. They're very good at this level, but I think in the Championship they will be found out a little bit. So there's no doubt we will need to do strengthening. I don't buy this agenda that we're a top 5, top 6 Championship side already. I don't see us anywhere near that. I think
I've already mentioned that the jump up in class is massive.
Yeah, the advantage we will have is the money, of course, and our revenue and all that side of things. So we will be able to spend, or should I say, outspend the majority of the league when we get there next season. But you've got to buy wisely, and it's got to work, hasn't it? So
yeah, of course.
Do you know what, John? It's really refreshing to listen to somebody as level-headed as yourself, because I think in social media across multiple platforms, Rovers fans are to blame for it. I think Ian would probably say that there's Rotherham fans as well, and any of the Wednesday fans. If Jake was on, he'd be saying there's Wednesday fans. There's always pockets of people in every club across the EFL that are expecting the club to do better, and they're on massive eyes when we win, and then it's the end of the world. We're going into non-league as soon as we lose a game, and obviously, like I say, there's this kind of expectation that Birmingham should be walking the league, but football's played 11v11 on a pitch, isn't it? And if you've got 3 or 4 players not quite at it at a game, anybody can beat anybody. And like Lolo says, League One isn't as easy as people think, and midweek away days are especially hard. And yeah, you've got to earn the position that you're in, and I think you've certainly done that.
Yeah, I think the other thing is we are suffering with quite a few injuries at the moment, so I don't think that can be glossed over either. I think we're 15 games unbeaten. But yeah, you're always going to get that select minority, aren't you, online? That always, I mean, I don't usually have a pop at people online, but there was a Birmingham fan the other week which was having a right tirade against the manager, saying the football's boring and that we're here to be entertained. And I had to sort of reply and just say, oh yeah, because the last 12 years have been really entertaining, haven't they? You know, playing hoofball, struggling against relegation, hoping Lukas Djukovic jumps up at the back post. I mean, that's wonderful to watch, isn't it? So yeah, it's just some people are daft. Let's be honest. Yeah. So let's enjoy it while it lasts.
Exactly that. ATID's just come in and said, Argyle in a nutshell, smashed League One comfortably, 101 points, and then getting slapped about for fun most weeks in the Championship. So yeah, there is a gulf, and I hope for your sake, John, when or if, I think it'll be when you're in the Championship next season, you do strengthen, and it's not a case of kind of becoming a yo-yo team, which, like you say, you'll have the finances and the backing and enough to kind of, I think, make that step and at least solidify yourself as a Championship team. Maybe not top end, like you say, top 5, 6, but I don't think that's many years away if you can carry on or continue on the trajectory that you're currently doing. Similar to Wrexham, I think if they get that promotion and more revenue in and the backing, I think the sky's the limit, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's the depressing side of football, I would say, isn't it? It's about revenue and it's about money. Yeah. The romance of football is kind of gone, isn't it? We all wish it hadn't, and we all wish football wasn't run off a balance sheet, but it kind of is, isn't it? Yeah. So
I think the templates that you should look for to emulate as a club are Bournemouth and Brentford, who are both fairly small clubs with massive backing, but they're doing bits in the Premier League. They're comfortably surviving in the Premier League, and in the case this season of Bournemouth, they're thriving.
Yeah, doing very, very well. Lovely stuff. Thank you for popping on, John.
Pleasure.
Enjoyed talking to you again. I'm sure we'll have you on episode 100, and 110 weeks away from now. Be close to the end of the season, then, won't we?
Be close enough. Before I go, can I just commend Ian on his shirt tonight? It's not atrocious, so well done, mate.
All right, I'll remember that for future weeks.
See you guys.
Episode 100, he'll have to have his Villa shirt back on.
Take care, mate.
Cheers, John. Thank you. See you. Lovely stuff. Right, let's have a quick look at the League One table and then move on to the Championship. So we go down to the bottom of the table. Both Cambridge and Burton won this weekend, which lifted them up a couple of places, dropping Shrewsbury to rock bottom, Crawley in 23rd, 22nd and 21st, all 6 points away from Northampton. So a lot of work to do for them to get out of that. Peterborough.
Yeah, but Burton have given themselves a chance with the form that they're in at the moment. 2 wins and a draw in a week.
Yeah.
I mean, Northampton and Posh will be looking over the shoulders now.
Yeah, it's putting pressure on these now, isn't it? And they had a comfortable cushion, which is not so comfortable anymore. Ian, you've said 11th, 12th, 13th is around the
where we should finish. Yeah, I would think. Like I said, the playoffs. Don't be silly. We're not good enough. But yeah, I'm quite happy with us league placing at the moment, and there's points total. It could be better. It could be a lot worse. So we're okay. Like I said at the start of the season, if we finish mid-table, I'd be perfectly happy with that.
Yeah. James is in the chat. You already did League 2, thank God, because I don't want to see our recent form. It's not great, James. You don't need to look back either. We didn't touch on Newport. But yeah, the couple of wins for Lincoln recently have kind of got them back on track after a recent wobble. But yeah, playoffs: Barnsley, Stockport, Huddersfield, and Wrexham make up the playoffs at the minute. With Leyton Orient potentially steamrolling into the playoffs, they're doing really well. But yeah, Wickham hit and miss, very inconsistent form at the minute, but still holding on to that second spot. Birmingham in first with 2 games in hand over the 2 closest rivals. So like we were saying to John, it'd be a surprise if Birmingham weren't one of the top 2. Something catastrophic would have to happen from here on in for the remainder of the season for that to really go wrong. So, but football's a strange old sport, isn't it? And stranger things can happen.
Yeah.
Lovely. Right, let's get into the Championship. Any games that tickle your fancy, Ian?
Yeah, the one on Friday night at Bramall Lane. Where did that come from?
Yeah. Before you start on this, if anybody's joined late, we do have the link to the StreamYard is the pinned comment. So if you are a Championship club supporter and you want to come on and talk about your team, just click this link that's pinned, pop on, and you can have a chat about your club. We'll get that result on the screen. HID is quite happy for us to avoid midweek. We will indeed. We'll start Friday night. I think you can just see a little bit of the result from midweek, but yeah, we'll avoid that for HID. He's stuck in Newcastle due to the wind. We don't want to heap his misery because it is a therapy session. We don't want to. We don't want to be affecting people much more. Surprise result, Ian. Take this one away, mate.
Well, if Jake were here, he'd have his klaxon out by now. A lovely strike from Matt Crooks for the first goal. Side-footed it in from the edge of the box. But this I didn't see the game. I've just seen the highlights. It seems smash and grab a little bit from Hull because they were beaten in possession, chances, everything. But when they broke, they were deadly. Yeah. And put 3 away. I mean, I felt a little bit sorry for Harrison Burrows having been credited with that own goal at the end, but he had to do something because it was fizzing across the face of goal. And if he hadn't got anything to it, it was just a tap in. But this has done Hull the world of good.
Yeah.
Lower
said that Sheffield United fans were ringing up Radio Sheffield asking for VAR in the Championship. We certainly don't want VAR down in the lower leagues.
Yeah, but I know what he's getting at, because it
was a horrible decision.
Had a perfectly good goal disallowed. Yeah, when it was 1-0.
Yeah, a game-changing decision potentially, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I think Wilder held his hand up at the end of the game and said they didn't deserve anything, and he praised Hull, and it's a fantastic result for them at the bottom end. And Mr. Sellers has started working his magic like he did at Reading last season.
Yeah, he has. And I think that's the second. Did Hull win the game before? No,
they lost to QPR. They won at Millwall, didn't they?
Yeah. So since they got beat by the Mighty Rovers, they've won 2, lost 1. So yeah, we've helped them out a little bit.
Yeah, you take a bit of credit for that.
Yeah, well, got to take it where you can, mate, haven't you?
Yeah.
So we've touched on 1-5-1 victory across the EFL this week, and there were 2 in the Championship. West Brom beating Portsmouth 5-1. Great to see Mowbray back in football.
It is. I mean, if Pompey are to survive in the Championship, it's going to be the form at Fratton Park that keeps them up, because this isn't the first hammering they've had away from home. They've had some real tonkins away from home, and this is just the latest one of them. The defending were almost as bad as Rotherham's at Burton. Really bad defending. But it was a bit of a surprise they didn't put up more of a fight, because they had 2 good home wins before this one.
Yeah, I thought they were going to build on those home wins, and they've collapsed, haven't they?
Yeah, but the Hawthorns is a difficult place to go. Very difficult place to go.
Yeah.
For any side.
Good result, though.
Yeah.
Talking about bad defending, I don't know if you've seen the highlights of the Norwich Swansea game. Yeah. It seemed like 4 of the 5 goals were the exact same move, just a long ball from the centre-back over the midfield and defence, and either Krenak or Sargent just latched onto it and slotted it away, didn't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, Norwich needed this. They've not been on the greatest run. So to put 5 past Swansea, who are a decent footballing team. I mean, it looks a fairly even game statistically.
Yeah. Well, Swansea always have more possession than the opposition, because of that sort of side, a possession-based side. But you can have 60-70% possession. If you're passing it around the back 4, it doesn't hurt anybody.
Yeah, you're not going to impact anything, are you?
No.
So,
I mean, it's been a bad week for Swansea, hasn't it? Because they got hammered at Cardiff, didn't they, last weekend in the South Wales derby?
Yeah, I think they lost midweek as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they lost to Sheffield. It's not been a good week, has it?
No, knocked out at FA Cup as well by a dire Southampton, based on the league form.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a great January for Swansea.
Not a great 2025 so far, is it?
Oh no, get me back into 2024. We will stick on the theme of poor defending in the Championship. I don't know if you saw Preston's second goal. It's not. Did you see it?
I didn't know.
Okay, so the ball's bouncing in and around the area. And I think it is the fella who used to play for Leeds, Luke Ayling and Fry.
Yeah.
Both go for the ball, head each other. So it looks a little bit like a head injury, but neither of them have kind of gone down or really made a meal of it or made the referee aware. It goes out to another one of the Middlesbrough midfielders, and for some reason he plays it back to Ayling, who's holding his head, and these 2 defenders are kind of stood holding their heads. And then Ayling stops, kind of miscontrols the ball. It goes to Jakobsen, and it was just a calamity. Fry, I think it was Fry, then tries to get involved, and yeah, just an absolute catalogue of errors from the defence and the midfield, and Jakobsen just pounced on it and slotted it in, and yeah, just bizarre. You've got to watch it to kind of believe it. Just a bizarre goal. Like Neil says, proper Sunday League defending.
Yeah.
On to Plymouth, if I can find them. Sunderland against Plymouth. ATID has put a comment on. So for Argyle, if Hardy could finish a wank, then we'd win that yesterday. 2 horror misses against absolute hopeful Sunderland.
Especially the free header.
Yeah,
he got the old goal to
win. I like farts in wind tunnels. Yeah, it's you need to be getting 3 points really. But it's an away game. You've got to be happy with a point. But like you said earlier, it can't mask over the fact that you've only got 1 point in 3 home games. That's where you need to really be picking the maximum number of points up.
But really, Plymouth should have won that. Yeah, Plymouth should have won that.
Yeah. And he would have come in if he wasn't at the airport. There's always next time, episode 100, when we've got the phone-in show once again, we will get you on so that you can have a proper say, because you do have a way with words, ATID. I do like it.
He has got a way with words, you're right.
Just before we finish off, Chal has dropped in. Good evening, Chal. If people don't know who Chal is, he's a Doncaster Rovers. Well, you do Doncaster Rovers a little bit, but you've kind of branched out a little bit more into your blogging. You're doing kind of a few more bits and pieces. So we've invited people in to talk about their club. So, Donny Rovers, are you happy with our season so far? What's your thoughts on League Two?
Yeah, I think we're in a good position anyway. So I think it's been steady in terms of league position. I think some of the performances could have been, I think a couple of games, few games could, especially at home, but at the end of the day, we're picking up points where maybe on a couple of occasions we might not have done, I think a few years ago. So you could say that's what potential promoted sides do, especially during a campaign. So there's still a lot of the season to play, but I think we're in a healthy position if we can just keep on track with the rest of the league. And I'm not going to give up on the title yet because the Walsall's not hit their purple patch yet. And I think we're still in a healthy position.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think 12 points is not much. Well, it's not out of reach. I think Walsall have still got quite a lot of the top 6 or 8 to play. So they could drop points in those. For me, there's 3 places to play for, and I don't think it matters really if you get 1, 2, or 3.
You still achieved it.
You still get League One football next year, so I'd be quite happy to be in 3rd at the end of the season, but I'd like to be 4 or 5 points above 4th before the final game. I don't want to be going into that final game. We're not scouting 4th and us in 3rd, and there being 1 point between us. Certainly do not want
that. But yeah, you were right as well. Obviously, I'm a Doncaster Rovers supporter. I will cover as many games as possible, but I will also branch out. I've got some really exciting pitch side projects in the EFL coming up with a couple of clubs in League 1 and 2. Got a couple of nice documentaries coming up, and then also got some interesting collaborations, and also got some stuff with the new Baller League in a month as well. So fingers crossed, you'll see a Speed and KSI interview at some point.
Nice. Looking forward to that. Congratulations. Before we let you get off and we finish this episode, mate, favourite Rovers player? Let's go with that.
It's got to be James Coppinger. Grew up with his career as he started as a young player, and I got to see him in his one of his first games and got to see him in his last game. So got to be Coppinger.
Yeah, very good player. Absolute legend.
Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah. Lovely stuff, Chal. Thank you for coming on. And we will see you maybe in episode 100 if you jump on in that one.
Absolutely, man. Take it easy.
Cheers, pal. See you later.
Now we've got to touch on the Owls, haven't we? Because Jake's not here. And we
fucking can't come on show. Don't get talked about.
Oh, don't be like that. Cracking result for Wednesday. QPR have been bang on form. They nearly took the lead the first half with a free kick that hit the bar. Wednesday got away with that a little bit, but always well in the game. And two of the forgotten men, Michael Smith and Callum Patterson. Because Patterson, I think he made his first start of the season. I might be wrong, but that's what he said on the EFL highlights show. His first start of the season. Stuck it away well.
Be able to confirm or deny that, mate. He's in the chat. He says Gassama is just getting better and better every game. Think he might be the first player we end up selling for a nice profit in forever.
The first goal, Michael Smith did what Michael Smith does.
Yeah, you were right as well, Ian. It was his first start, and Patterson played amazing, according to Lolo.
I'm still not sure whether the whole of the ball was over the line with Smith's goal, because it didn't show you the goal. You know when it shows you the goal decision system? It didn't show you. But it must have been because the referee's watch will have gone.
Yeah.
But it was a typical Michael Smith goal, though. Yeah. But bloody I mean, after recent results, when picking up a good 2-0 away win, it still puts them in with a slight chance of the playoffs.
Do you know what?
With some interesting games coming up.
It does indeed. Big game tomorrow at 8 o'clock, Burnley versus Leeds. For everybody kind of in and around the top 6 or 10, they'll probably want that to be a draw to keep it nice and tight. But if we have a look at the table,
be a draw.
Yeah. If we have a look at the table, we'll go down to the bottom. We'll be as quick as possible for ATID's sake. Plymouth rock bottom on 22 points. Portsmouth on 29. So a bit of work to do to maintain their championship status, as well as Luton and Derby. Any one of those.
Yeah, I mean, 4-1 Derby, 5 defeats on the trot. But I think it's 6 or 7 actually. He's in a lot of trouble here at Derby.
Yeah.
The fans are calling for him, said.
Yeah, could be on borrowed time. Hull doing well recently with a couple of wins.
Yeah,
they'll certainly take that. Cardiff form has picked up, so they're pulling away from the drop zone as well. I think a special mention for Oxford this season.
Absolutely.
Really unexpected kind of position for them. And they're going to
the playoffs. They got into the playoffs on the last day of the League One season. Won the playoffs, and they've done really well.
Yeah,
really well.
Very good. On to Wednesday. So Middlesbrough in 6th on 44 points, and then there's 4 teams within 3 points of that. Sheffield Wednesday, Watford, Bristol City, and Blackburn. So it's not out of the realms of possibility, is it, that Wednesday go on a little bit of a run and gate crash this top 6?
You always get one club in a particular division that gate crash it. I was just talking about Oxford. They gate crashed the League One playoffs last season.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, certainly not out of the realms of possibility. And the playoffs made up of currently Middlesbrough, West Brom, Sunderland, and Burnley, but that could all change tomorrow night with Sheffield United failing to win on Friday night, which leaves the door open for Burnley to get in there, or it leaves the door open for Leeds to extend their 1-point lead to 4 over Sheffield United.
I mean, when you consider that both Leeds and Burnley have only lost 5 games between them all season, it looks a nailed-on draw, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does indeed. Yeah. So let's have a quick look at the Fantasy AFL before we round episode 90 off. I think there's midweek games, so I'm assuming quite a lot of people have got double game weeks for a lot of their players. But yeah, Inter Yanan still in 27th. Max, there's still three teams there, 3 players without not over the 1,000-point mark. So I'm going to have words with Max when I next see him, because he needs to sort his game out. decent week so far for drum and bass, 51 points. I think that might be the best. I know we've got Jonathan Harris, MK Dons, 54 points. He's done well. I was close to catching you up, Ian.
Yeah, there's still only 5 points between us, isn't there?
Yeah, I think we've just got his own little battle going on in the middle of this table at the minute. I will finish above you. It's the one thing I'm going to do this season. Around the Grounds has dropped to 13th at the minute. Lizzie dropped to 12th. But as we go up the table, hopefully you guys see your names. Neil has just put me and the boy 4th and 5th now. So yeah, slot my tip in Diaz and Cookie in on Gas. Lovely team names. I do like that. Adam Gittins dropped down to 6th. He started the season very, very well. But if you've watched this show for any period of time, you know that Bailey, he'll probably drop in the chat now. This is the normal time that he comes in just to see himself at the top of the table. He's broken
the 2,000 boys.
It's impressive, Bailey. We've got to give it to you. Very, very good. 2,000 points. He's got to be up there on the overall, surely. It was miles away.
Oh, the miles
not a
away.
million miles off. First overalls on 2,241, and he was on what? 2004?
Yeah.
Oh, he's some way away. Yeah, there's a lot. I'm not scrolling anymore. You get the you get the picture. He's doing very well. Yeah,
fantastic team names, though, isn't there?
Jay Spencer, 2,241. That's decent.
Yeah.
We're not bothered about overall though. We're bothered about the 72 Review League, and Bailey's currently winning that. Lovely stuff. Hour and 7. So that brings us to the end of episode 90. I've really enjoyed having people in. Yeah, it's been nice to have a phone in. Thank you to Reese, John, and Chal, all for jumping in and having a chat about your clubs. Especially John over in Boston. I think that's incredible that you've jumped on and spent a bit of your time in the afternoon talking football with.
We've gone transatlantic.
We're massive now.
Yeah.
But no, it's all about having a community and just being able to have a chat about football and hopefully cheering ourselves up after a poor result or celebrating a good result. And we're all in the same boat, really. Loving our club, getting frustrated by our clubs and doing it all again next week. But if we're here on a Sunday and we make the week slightly easier for you, then I'm happy. We're doing our job. Any final words, Ian, before I finish it?
Hugely enjoyable. I've enjoyed the phoning part of it, especially. But again, a decent therapy session, which we all need from time to time, and it's been really enjoyable.
Neil just wants to know, tell me again how great Bradford are after we beat runaway leaders Walsall on Saturday. Do you know what, Neil? Thank you from everybody in League Two. You've shown that Walsall, the runaway leaders, are beatable and hopefully catchable. We will see. I'm sure there'll be twists and turns as the season goes on. And join us, be with us on a Sunday at 6:30 to talk about those twists and turns from here until the end of the season. I will thank Ian and everybody who phoned in today. This is the end of episode 90. If you're watching on repeat or during the week, get your comments in the section down below. Stick a big thumbs up on it. Share it. Get it out there. Let's get more people involved in it. Have a great week. Subscribe to Ian. Subscribe to myself, Jake. And all that's left for me to say is thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Cheers. Thank you very much.